Yeah, when I was young, um, being in KZN, from KZN primary school, with a lot of homophobic teachers, as you grow, you kind of tell that you are different, um, especially in the ages of about 10 to 12. That's where your body is changing and, things like that. You start developing these feelings. And according to what you have been told, a man is attracted to a woman and a woman is attracted to a man. So being in that age and being confused with why am I being attracted to a man, and seeing how people who are attracted to other men are perceived by society, it's not very easy as a child to even speak about such a thing. For example, when in primary, a teacher would make a joke about a gay person, whereas you suspect or you even know that there's a possibility that I'm gay myself, it sort of creates an environment where you have to keep everything in and you can't really express yourself and talk about it. So, it sort of was an individual discovery journey, something that I had to teach myself, accept myself, um, answer myself, because I couldn't ask anyone who would give me the answers, and Google was my best friend. So yeah, that's where I got a lot of answers from. And growing up, going to high school, and yeah, that is where I was very much in the closet. Even when a few people would ask me now, like, but when you were straight? And I know I was not straight. I was never straight. So yeah, so even high school, it was the same thing. It was so hard. Yeah, and then when I got to university, that's when I started realizing that yeah, this is a place where I can get to be free, get to be me, and yeah, also the kind of family where I come from, the church, the neighbors, it's a lot, you know, when someone from church would make a joke like, you should get married to my daughter, and the parent and my mother would be like, yeah, they should get married. It sort of puts so much pressure, as much as it would be like a joke, but to you as a person, you know who you are. And if those people already in their mind are trying to create a future for yourself, a future that you do not even imagine, if you had to come to those people and tell them, hey, I'm getting married to a man, like my world would flip upside down. So yeah, it's things like that. So in terms of religion, my mother is very conservative. Like gay people, all of these things, they are perceived as demons, disgusting, unnatural, Western influences, which is one of the things I've just seen on the news and Twitter. Yeah, so it's not a very easy space or comfortable space that I can say, oh, hi family, I'm gay. It's not like they're going to say, oh, you are a child, we love you, blah blah. It's gonna be World War III. So yeah, it's not really a very good environment, I can say. So hence I'm in the closet back home, and I get to be me here in Grahamstown and university. But also I think it leads to financial independence. Something that I believe would very much set me free, because I would have something to fall back on. When you're still depending on your family, your parents, it's not easy to come out because anything can happen. What if they cut you out financially? Then what? As compared to you being financially independent, I've got my own place. If I'm kicked out, I can live by myself. I have my salary, so it would be a matter of them just being upset but not having too much control over your life. Yeah, but on the good part, my friends, my best friends, they know. There was this one time where we were drinking, and they asked me if I'm gay. I felt I wanted to hide on that minute, and I was like, yeah, I just told them, and they were like, yeah, we suspected, blah blah. We've always knew, but we're just waiting for you to tell us. And because Bona, they would talk about girls, yeah. They would put so much pressure. This culture of guys putting so much pressure on each other. You should go out with that girl, blah blah. And it was a very uncomfortable topic for me because pretending is not my thing, but I tried. So yeah, I guess they saw from those conversations that why would I be so quiet sometimes, or just not say as much as they would say. So yeah, but at the end they were like, they love me the way I am. We've been friends since primary school. So yeah, at least those are the types of people that I would need in my life. Yeah, who really did make things a bit easy for me. So yeah, that's my journey thus far. Yeah. So another thing is culture. Your culture, guys. Being a Zulu man is hard. Being a Zulu man is hard. For example, in terms of marriage, right? We have things like ilobolo, umcelo. All of those things are celebrated before the white wedding to strengthen the relationship between the two families, and all of those things were created for man and a woman. So already there is no space for gay people in culture, at least in the Zulu culture, which is very problematic for someone who believes in culture, and there are two women who want to get married, or two men. How does this happen? Who gets to pay lobola for who? So it's all of these things, and it's all of the arguments that homophobic people tend to use, that you cannot be gay, this was not created for you. So it's all of those things that just put so much pressure onto a person to like, is this really even worth it? And sometimes you would even think that you are a mistake, or what you're doing is wrong, or because so many people are homophobic and influencing you and really trying to change your mind, that this is not the way to do things, that you are not a person, it's unholy, and all of those things. So yeah, it's all of those things that I think about personally, because I would definitely want to get married one day, live a normal life as heterosexual people. So yeah, and then what else? Yes, back to religion. So the church that I attend, they express their views in terms of homosexuality, like it's forbidden, it's against the Bible, and all of those things. So it's also not an environment where I can say, hey, I'm gay, because I love my church. That's where I grew up, and that's where I want to be for the rest of my life. But from judging from how things are, personally, that's I don't think it's going to happen, because if I had to come out as gay, obviously I'd probably be kicked out of church. So yeah, so all of those things, all of those challenges that I'm just facing, at least, or challenges that I know I'm going to face in the long run, yeah, that are just going to constantly remind me that, I don't know, I'm a failure, I'm a disgrace, even though that's not true, but people would really label you as this kind of person. So yeah, so religion, culture, society at large, it's very difficult. The fact that I am free in Grahamstown and not free back home, that says a lot about home. It says a lot about the environment, the people that I keep in my space. And sometimes I even think about what people say, that if they don't love you as you are, then they are not real with you, or they are not for you. And hey, I don't know, because these are people like you've created a lot of relationships with, you've invested so much. Do you really want to just cut them out like that? But also, if you don't cut them out, they're probably going to cut you out, because they say it's a lifestyle. They're not agreeing with your lifestyle. I don't know why they say it's a lifestyle, because as a gay person, we are hated in many other countries around the world. So why would I even wake up and choose to be something that's potentially going to get me killed, So yeah, it's almost like racism, back in the apartheid. So black people were hated because they were black. If they had the choice of changing from black to white, a lot of people would have changed. So same thing as us gay people. Why would we decide to do something that is going to get us killed, get us assaulted, So yeah, it's all of those challenges, which is like, Very, very, very hard. It's extremely hard as a gay person, as much as we have these laws that accept us, blah, blah, blah. But that is just the law that is written on paper. What happens on the ground is sad, because also a lot of people have been killed. Just recently, a lot of people have been killed because of their sexuality. So coming out is hard. It's very hard. Sometimes someone would say that why do people even still come out? But unfortunately, the environment that we're at, it forces people to come out, because you can't just rock up one day and say I'm getting married, and then at family dinner you bring this guy. The expectations are that you're gonna bring a girl if you're a guy, and that you're gonna bring a guy if you're a girl, not the same gender. So yeah, it forces us to come out. So yeah, in terms of femininity, I consider myself to be in between. I don't know if that makes sense, if there exists such a thing. I'm not a cross dresser. I love my masculine side. I really do enjoy it. I enjoy feeling like a man, my beard, and all of those things. But as men, we can be feminine, which is something that also is problematic, especially with very conservative cultural people. So for me, when you are like me, like when sometimes you are feminine, you are perceived as being gay, but then people don't understand that being feminine has nothing to do with sexuality. A whole straight man can be feminine, and so on. So for me, my feminine side at least has received a lot of attack, homophobic attacks, verbal, being sworn at, being called very disgusting names because of how you are, because people just understand that a man does 1, 2, and 3. They don't do 1, 2, and 3. So if you do the other things that they are not exposed to, things that they've never seen, things that they don't want to understand, the whole rationale behind it, they call you names. So I think probably that is, I'd say that when I'm back home, I'm more masculine because of the homophobia, being in the closet. But being in Grahamstown, that's where I accept it. I am me. I can even put nail polish if I want to. There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, that's me accepting. I think I'm accepting more of my feminine side when I'm this side, when I'm in Grahamstown, as compared to being in Durban or KZN. So yeah, I do acknowledge it. I do know that it can exist both, which also gives me, like, I don't know, a dual personality. I can be as feminine as I want. I can be as masculine as I want. So it's not even a matter of me channeling it. It just happens on its own. I'm with my friends, we're having wine, they're feminine me, we're having conversations, it's all good. It says a lot about the environment that I'm at. I'm at peace, I'm relaxing, I'm people that I trust, people that I love. And then the masculine side, it would be there mostly when I'm in KZN, sometimes just forcing it, not it happening automatically, because I also have that masculine side, but me forcing it to want to be seen that I'm a real man, inverted commas. So yeah, so those are just some of the challenges that we are facing, or at least that I'm facing, and I know a lot of people are facing out there. It's sort of like having to put on this mask every time. You put on this mask for certain people, you take it off for certain people, and it kind of makes you feel like a hypocrite, as if you are not being real with other people or even being real with yourself. So yeah, it forces you to be this two different types of people, that you can be these two different type of people, but you want to be these different types of people when you want to, not when people are forcing you to, right? So if I'm Durban, I'm forcing the masculine side. The femininity, even if I want to be free and do that, I cannot even think about it. So it's me putting on this mask that I do not like putting, because people's action, words are forcing me to be that character. So yeah,